Okay, so I'm going to touch on part of my journey. All right. So when I say you just deal with life as it comes to you, right? That sounds so simple and easy, right? Not really. But when we look at our past stuff, we can see the ahas. We can understand what we've learned and why. Okay? But in my past, I had very loud, very sharp from spirit, it's time to move. And I said, no, I don't want to move. And I kept on living. And my team came in again, very loudly, my knowing, and said, it's time to move. I started losing my job. I started financially struggling. And the person in me goes, oh no, I'll just get another job. I'll get another job. I'm not moving. I'm staying. Da da da. I was resisting something. So since I was resisting something, I knew that push. I knew it was time to leave. It was time to move. My life got harder and harder and harder. And I just kept on putting a smile on my face and going, I got this. I got this. I can do this. I got this. I'm a hard worker. I got this. Wrong. And I gotta say is when the universe says it's time to move, sometimes we do things that we don't want to do. We know it's time. And finally, a year later, it took me 1 year of fighting. I just always barely made enough to survive. I got up one day and I really grounded myself and went into meditation with the intentions of, what am I doing wrong? Why aren't things going my way? Why is this? And I'm being sincere at the time. Looking at spirit, looking at my higher self, going, what's wrong? Why do I feel all these brick walls coming at me? I came out of meditation, went for a walk, and it hit me in the face. It's time to move. After my walk, I started packing. So when I say you deal with what comes at you, sometimes words are easier said than done. But at that point in my life, I was so bound and determined that I didn't want to leave Houston. I didn't want to leave it. But I started struggling and struggling and struggling, and I lost my flow. I was still getting connected to spirit. I was still getting guidance because my guides were still helping me, but I could just picture them. Now that I look back, I could just picture them going, you know, this girl, she's asking us stuff, we're telling her what it is, and she's still pushing through. Why? And I still bulldoze and push through and push through. And they were probably laughing at me or just shaking their head going, oh God, no, don't do it, don't do it. She did it. Why did she do that? Because I was making all sorts of stupid decisions. Because I was resisting. I was fighting the inevitable. So this happens in your life. It's not always perfect. But guess what? When you follow your flow, you got to make tough decisions. I've had to let go of friends that I dearly love. But it kept on coming in, it kept on coming in. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to trust it and walk. Leave this person behind. I don't want to. I love them. But I keep on getting loud and clear. It's time. So it's easier said than done, but it's real. Especially when you can get a vision or a knowing, some kind of clarification, and you don't listen to it and you do it anyways. And then when you sit in your outcome, then you're like, oh yeah, that's what those visions were about, or that's what that picture was about. Oh yeah. We are operating sometimes on autopilot, and sometimes we're operating and we know what we're doing. And I would say sometimes when I'm a hot mess, it's totally autopilot. Because when you connect to your higher self, when you connect to spirit, everything's right there. All it is a question away. All you got to do is ask, and you get it. But it's listening to it, following the direction, even when you don't want to. Because this is what I noticed too, is when people start connecting and understanding, they're like, yeah, I knew it, but I still went, did it anyways. And then when I ended up in the shit, I realized, oh yeah, that's right. So that's when people say they just start going with it. Because they already know what they want isn't what they need. So life is up and down, depending on how you flow, depending on how you connect and listen and understand. But even when you find your flow, like sometimes I have a little bit of resistance, but I'm like, nope. I talk to myself, I'm going to trust it. I'm going to trust it. It's a little scary, but I'm going to trust it. Because I know how it's going to end up if I just keep on bulldozing through, thinking I can think my way through something. So this life isn't about rainbows and unicorns. It's walking the walk, learning your wisdom. You learn your wisdom by making mistakes, reflecting and going, oh, that's where I messed up. That's when I didn't listen. Oh, I saw that coming. Why didn't I do anything about it? But now that means you're collecting your wisdom. Because the only way you learn is by making mistakes. And when the whole other world wants to sit there and judge you, I just start laughing now. Because it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. The only thing that matters is, did I get it this time? Because it'll keep on coming up until I get it. And at the end of the day, when I get it, I'm the winner of my life. I excel at my life. This life is nothing but challenges here and there. But how are you flowing? How are you connecting, listening? So when I say, go with the flow, start flowing, it is easier said than done. But it is doable, and you learn.